question. You said the
Chanel.
president said today that he went down to the basement to inspect it over the weekend. What was the point of the inspection? What was he looking for?
Look, I won't go further than what the president has said because those are security matters, and I won't engage on that kind of discussion. Yes, Chanel.
Kayleigh, so going back to Rosenstein, what is the president's response to the fact that neither Rosenstein nor Christopher Wray seem willing to take responsibility for the illegal wiretapping that took place on the Trump campaign? I also have a question on the Insurrection Act.
Yeah, I would say, look, the president is dismayed. This happened to the president's campaign. A Republican campaign was spied on by a Democratic presidency, a Democratic administration, based on a dossier paid for by his opponent, Hillary Clinton, and the DNC. This is absolutely extraordinary. It is the biggest political scandal that we've seen. And the lack of journalistic curiosity on this front is appalling when you have multiple instances of people who were saying one thing under oath from the Obama administration and saying another thing in public, that they had direct evidence of Russian collusion. I mean, that's extraordinary. Adam Schiff, I've got direct evidence when in fact we know there was none in the Mueller report after spending millions of taxpayer dollars, totally and completely exonerated President Trump. It was a travesty, and we hope to get to the bottom of this because it should never be done again in American politics to any president of either political party.
Insurrection Act, Secretary Esper this morning said that he opposes it. The last time it was used was 1992. How close is the White House to actually using the Insurrection Act? Is that a last resort measure, or is this a real possibility at this moment?
Well, if you've noticed, the president has been going down a line of progression, and the first point was allow governors to do their job, allow mayors like Bill de Blasio to do their job, the police power, which is embedded in the 10th Amendment of this Constitution. That's how this country is supposed to work. Governor Cuomo is supposed to ensure that his state is protected. Mayor de Blasio is supposed to ensure that New York City is protected. They failed at their job. There was looting all across New York City. There were fires burning here in D.C. when Mayor Bowser was in control. So this president on Monday took definitive action with that speech saying, if necessary, the military is here. You must surge the National Guard. He took action, and he shored up and made sure that D.C. remained peaceful. So this president has gone and said the National Guard is the next step. That seemed to be working here in New York, in D.C. We'll see if it continues to work. But rest assured, he has the sole authority to invoke the Insurrection Act, and if necessary, he will do so to protect American citizens. One thing I really want to note, and I think it's so important to go back to this because I haven't seen a ton of coverage of it other than in a few places. And I started the briefing with this, and it's important. I just want to circle back and note Captain David Dorn, who lost his life in St. Louis, and he was killed by a looter. He served 38 years in the St. Louis Police Department. His wife, Ann, is a sergeant with the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department. He is a hero. I also want to note, because there have been 45 officers lost in the line of duty this year, and my heart breaks for them. And as a new mom myself, my heart particularly breaks for two women in particular who I was reading about their stories today. Officer Breanne Leath of the Indianapolis Police Department. On April 9th, 2020, she was shot and killed. She survived by her 3-year-old son, her sister, and her parents. She was a National Guard veteran, and my heart breaks for the family of Officer Leath. And Officer Tiffany Victoria Enriquez of the Honolulu Police Department on January 19th, 2020. Officer Enriquez was shot and killed as well, leaving 3 daughters, 1 grandson, and she was a U.S. Air Force Reserve veteran. These are our heroes. Thank you so much to our officers who are protecting our streets. Many have been shot, some have been killed. It's a travesty, and let us stand with law enforcement and recognize the huge contribution that they have made to our society and continue to do so each and every day. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us here at Golden State Times. If you guys liked our coverage, then make sure you share it on social media. Share it on Twitter, Facebook, Gab, Reddit. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Gold State Times. And if you're new to the channel, we encourage you to subscribe and click that notification bell. Thank you so much, folks, and we'll see you soon. Peace.